Hi guys, welcome to my new clip. Today I'm making the minimalist shirt and I'm making a long version without the pockets. And I've dyed this cotton fabric and then kind of bleached it in my above ground pool, and it was really pastel afterwards. So I've printed the pattern and I already prepared last night and I cut everything. So it's really important. You have to cut the yoke twice and you also have to cut the collar pieces twice on the fold. And I'm interfacing the collar and the stand, one of each. Now, the first step is the placket. And for this one, we want to take the pattern and mark all of these important lines. So there's 1 cm seam allowance, 3 cm for the facing, and then there's also all of these buttonholes. And while I'm at it, I'm also marking the buttonholes on the collar stand. Now, I want to iron this in shape. So first, I'm doing 1 cm and then 3 cm on the wrong side of the piece, the left side. And then we can edge stitch the placket into place. So it's 3 cm wide. Now I'm preparing a bobbin and there it goes. So just along the edge, it's really easy. And actually I just got myself like a new edge stitch footer, but I'm not using it yet. Just arrived yesterday. And yeah, quick line. Reverse at the beginning and reverse at the end, and another one. And make sure you're making kind of two opposites and not the same. So you have a left and a right. And there you go. So all of this folding business is on the inside, and on the outside it's really nice and clean, and you can just see the dots that I marked for the buttons and buttonholes. Now, step number 2, the yoke and the back. So this one now is, so we want to have the 2 yoke pieces. I have one like this, and then one in a little bit different painting. Yeah, this one. And then the lower back piece. Now, it's still a little bit wider, so we want to place the little box pleat in the center. You want to kind of match the notches, kind of left to center front, right to center front, and you get a little pleat. Now, take the 2 yoke pieces, and first we take one, and then we sandwich our back in between there. You can also baste the pleat a little bit to keep it safe. Now, 3-layer sandwich, yoke, back, yoke, right sides towards right sides kind of, and one towards the left. And now we're stitching it with 1 cm seam allowance, 3/8 of an inch. I've pinned it very nicely. So always keep all the layers in check. Gorgeous. So I can now press it a little bit in shape. It's always a good idea. I'm using a very kind of thin but very over twisted cotton, so it needs a lot of work. So now the yoke and the front. I've just learned from my reviews that this is called the Burrito Method. I had no idea. I don't know. So what we want to do is we want to fold the inside yoke bit, the one that's on the wrong side of the piece. We want to fold it away. And then we want to pin our 2 front pieces now to the outside facing yoke piece first, right on right. So kind of the button placket is looking at us there from the inside. So a quick few pins, and then we can roll it all in. And then you want to bring the inside yoke over, so you make the burrito. And then I usually add more pins to make it all really safe and secure. Make sure you don't pin anything that doesn't belong into the seam, like the front panels. And then we can all stitch it again in, well, 2 nice goes with 1 cm, 3/8 of an inch seam allowance. So make sure you keep all the layers in check again. And then we want to nicely reverse. And you can see it kind of overlaps a bit. According to the seam allowance, so you know where to stitch. Now comes the fun part. So you want to pull it all out through kind of like the neckline there. And yeah, be gentle, don't like rip it out. And then a quick pressing to make it all very nice. And yeah, it's gorgeous. It should line up like this. So now I'm already very excited about making the buttonhole, so I will just go for it. I could have done it like before the other step, but now it's okay to end yeah, I'm using this Bernina machine, and this is the only time I actually ever used a domestic sewing machine in like the last 10 years, I guess. And brought this one from work. It's pretty neat, but for regular stitching, I still like kind of like my other one. But the buttonholes are great. So I've done that one. And now, yeah, so I've lost the footage of me stitching the sleeves. I might have also not filmed it, I really don't know. Sometimes I just kind of have a little, yeah, moment. So we want to take our sleeves now, and the sleeves I'm going to do like a sew and serge, kind of sewing and overlocking method. So we just line them up with the notches. There are notches on the front and back panels, and there's also the shoulder notch on the yoke. So you want to line them up, stitch them, 1.5 cm seam allowance, and then overlock it. And once we've done it, we can then bring the sides together. And for the side seams, I want to do a French seam again. So first wrong side on wrong side, left side, and we're stitching with a footer's width all along the side there, sleeve to the bottom. And then flip it and reverse it, and you can finger press it a little bit. This cotton is like super easy to fold, so I don't have to kind of press it with the iron. I don't even have to really finger press it, it just falls in place. And then I want to stitch it again with like something between 0.75 and 1 cm. Actually kind of as small as I can get it, makes it a little bit prettier. So it's, yeah, 3/8 of an inch or 2/8 of an inch, like a 1/4 inch if you can pull it off. And then you usually want to pull the underarm area a little bit. I mean, the French seams make it a bit like kind of pucker up there. And once we've done the sides, let's do the collar now, kind of. So we have the two pieces for the collar there. One has the green painting on it, the other a bit more abstract. And then I have two pieces for the collar stand. Two of them are interfaced, and it's gonna be the ones that are kind of like showing, at least the collar. So first things first, we want to stitch the collar together. And you can see there the big curvy area actually stays open, and just the sides and the top there get stitched with 1 cm. So I've done that real quick. And now I want to snip a little bit these pointy corners off, so it's easier to turn them. I know that people have these nice corner turning tools. I don't, so I recommend a blunt tool. It could even be a blunt kind of scissors there, which I did. Usually like a pencil or something is fine. And then I'm giving it a very fierce pressing to make it all nicely lined up. And then we want to encase this between the collar stand. So there is notches for that, check the instructions. And now kind of the top part of the collar stand goes to the open side, and we stitch all the way around there, including the curve. 1 cm. Everything for the collar is 1 cm. And now iron it, press it open, and you can also kind of snip a little bit into the curves and cut little pizza slices out if you want to reduce the bulk there. And now we can fix the collar to our neckline. So we want to pin, like in my case, I pin the interface side now first. So I'm pinning it to the outside, the right side of the shirt. And you have to be really peculiar at these end and starting points there at the placket, like make it really nice and snug so it looks like a continuous line. You really want to line up the kind of seam. And then go kind of notch by notch, and we're pinning. This is a bit like kind of the tedious job, especially if you weren't too careful and you stretched out your neckline. Guys, always be very, very aware of not stretching out your neckline. So I've stitched this now, and I've stitched it from the inside kind of the collar stand. And now I can bring all of the seam allowances towards the inside of the collar stand. We're gonna stuff it all in there. You can reduce the bulk a little bit by cutting few of the raw edges shorter, but I didn't have to. This is very light. And then I stitched it from the right side, from the outside. I've overlapped the inside a little bit, kind of, so I know I would get the edge. And the collar is done. And now we can do the last step, the finishing touches, which mainly means the hem. And then of course there's still the buttons to be done, and one more buttonhole for the collar stand. So it's a roll hem, and is kind of 1.5 cm. You can roll it 0.75, 0.75, or you can also do a little bit more if you want. I mean, it's not that strict. So I'm actually kind of probably folding it 1 cm plus 1 cm, and I'm folding it on the go. This one is very light, but it does a little bit of like weird pulling. I could have done it nicer. If you guys watched the cool Instagram story that Nicole Akong did, she ironed the first kind of fold, and then she folded the last one. Now, something really weird happened with the video. Obviously, I'm trying to stitch the cuff there, but it's repeating itself all the time. It's like the computer was haunted, but I left it. It's kind of cool, because of course the cuffs are next. And now we're stitching on the buttons. I'm like kind of chilling on the balcony, doing it real quick. I tried this method to stick my phone somewhere like, but I mean, I don't have a bra, but it didn't really work out. How you girls can always do all these cool videos. And yeah, it's time to try, you know. Welcome to my road. This is like behind the temple where we live. You can actually see on the right side, this is the meditation center. And yeah, this is the shirt. I'm wearing my orange lazy pants with an extra pleat. So yeah, so I actually painted this fabric for a friend like ages ago, but not in these colors. And then I kind of like over-dyed it and bleached it and worked it and tried so many things. And I quite like it. It's super soft like a baby. What I really like about the minimalist shirt is the big collar. I have a super big neck and I hate to be strangled by my shirts. And that usually happens, but not with that one.